we're doing.
So for one step, all you have to do is just do the opposite of whatever's going on. Add, subtract. If you're subtracting, you add. Multiplying, you divide. If you're dividing, you're multiplying.
We always do the opposite?
I don't think so.
Yes. So now fractions. Fractions, we get into something a little different. To get rid of a fraction, multiply by the, does anybody remember the word?
The opposite, like, it'll be.
It starts with the
times 3 over
R.
2.
Start-
Ratio.
I know, yeah, no, not that. Reciprocal, yeah.
Okay. You must multiply by the reciprocal. What the reciprocal is just the fraction flipped upside down.
So 3, 2.
So
Put 3 at
3
top.
over
2
you
at
would do
bottom.
times 3 over 2.
I knew what it was, I just didn't know what it was called.
Sure we did.
So that cancels out, and you're going to get x equals, well, you could just do 10 times 3 over 2 in Desmos. Type that into Desmos and tell me what y'all got.
15.
It should have been 15. Good. Okay, so this one you're going to times by the reciprocal. And that's going to give you,
Man, you went fast.
No, you're just going slow.
No, not even. All right.
good, negative 18. All right, I want y'all to do the last two on your own, 7 and 8. So yes, you should have gotten negative 10 and 18. Any questions about that? Okay, so now we have two-step equations. On two-step equations, you first have to undo the addition or subtraction, and then undo the multiplication and division. So you're always going to add or subtract first on this if you just have a simple two-step equation. So what would we do first on number 9?
8 plus.
The opposite plus, which is
Negative.
minus. So I'll give us 6x equals 50 minus 8 is 42.
I don't think our teacher ever told us to do the opposite on every single one.
Yes, she did.
Did
Yes,
she?
she did.
Yeah, I don't know how they
She's
couldn't.
teaching us that.
Then what's opposite of times?
Okay.
What's opposite of times, guys? Divide. So we're going to divide by 6. Now give us x equals 7. All right, let's skip down to number 12. What would the first thing I do on number 12?
Subtract 7.
Subtract 7. The way we know it's subtract is that's a positive 7. Opposite of a positive is a negative, so we subtract 7. So that's going to give us negative 3y equals 34 minus 7 is 27. And then how do we get the y by itself?
Divide negative 3.
Good. Divide by negative 3.
Why do you times?
Because it was times. And what's the opposite of times?
Divide.
Divide.
Oh yeah, because that's very good.
So y equals negative 9.
All
right. So y'all try 10 and 11 on your own.
All right, you need me.
It doesn't matter what side your variable's on, as long as you got the right answer. Okay, anybody have a question about that?
No.
Nope.
What?
All right. So let's do ones that are a little bit more complicated. I'm going to do number 14 and 15 with y'all. So 14. What would I do first on 14?
You would do times 5, or minus 8, I mean.
Minus 8. So that would give us 11 minus 8 is
3.
3 equals c over negative 5. What's opposite of dividing by negative 5? Times by negative 5. So that cancels out, times by negative 5, and you get c equals negative 15. Questions about that?
No.
Okay, and then 15. 15, you would first do what?
Figure out the fraction was.
Subtract 22.
Oh.
So I give you 3/5 x equals 28 minus 22 is 6. And then we're going times by what?
5 over 3.
Good, the reciprocal, 5 over 3. And that would give us And guys, if you didn't want to put it in Desmos, you could work it out by hand. If you work it out by hand, that's 6 over 1 times 5 over 3. Remember, multiplying fractions, you multiply straight across. 6 times 5 is 30. 1 times 3 is 3. What's 30 divided by 3? 10. So you can work it out by hand if you want.
I like that way better.
I just know some people like to type it in Desmos and do a shortcut. All right, so that's how you do those. Go ahead and do the remaining 4 up there. All right, so check your answers, see if you got the same thing. On 13, you should have first added 7, then times by 2. That'll give you 32. 16, you would have first subtracted by 1. Negative 7 minus 1 is negative 8. And then times by the reciprocal of negative 1/3, which is negative 3. And that would give you a positive 24. Anybody have a question about 13 or 16? Okay, and then 17, 18. 17, you should have gotten peak was negative 16. Negative 28 times 4 sevenths. And then 18, you should have gotten first subtracted by 9. That would give you 6. And then times by the reciprocal of negative 1/2, which is negative 2. And you would get negative 12. Questions? All right. Then I want to go over a few practice problems with this next section. So 19 through 22. It says these examples below are different because you are not doing addition and subtraction first. You're actually doing multiplication and division first. So for number 19, we cannot do anything to the top until we get rid of the bottom. So what's opposite of dividing by 8? Timesing by 8. So that would cancel out. We get x plus 11 equals negative 3 times 8. What's negative 3 times 8?
Negative 24.
Good. And then what's opposite of plus 11?
Minus.
So we get x equals negative 24 minus 11 is negative 35. Okay, number 20. What would we do first on number 20? And that gives us n minus 5 equals negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14. Then add 5. And you get n equals 14 plus 5 is 19. All right. Go ahead and do 21 and 22 on your own. And then we will check those.